Hi everyone, that's Reefer here. Welcome to this weekly Focus Friday update. We're already on episode 3, in which I will be showing you a little more of how I'm finishing up, tidying up everything in and around the tank for your inspiration. And so let's get started. First of all, some things that I had to tidy up because it was not an ideal situation was the light. Previously I had it lying on two beams across the tank, which wasn't very safe because if you accidentally push one of the beams, then it might fall into the water, which will of course cause various problems, including destroying the lights, but also putting voltage into the water. So I hang it up from the ceiling. So as you can see, there's two holes in the ceiling now, and it's attached to beams in the ceiling. Much safer, and also because you can now adjust the height of the lights. There's things here to control that, so you can put it higher and lower, and you can decide what is the best spread of light across the tank. As you can see, right now it's evenly lit. So that's something I was actually quite surprised about, because I assumed that this light wouldn't be sufficient to light this entire tank. So I also have some backup LED lights that I was intending to use, but then again, after installing the lights and seeing it for a couple of weeks, I'm actually pretty happy with just these lights, and they light the tank very well, so I see no need for additional lights. The second thing I wanted to show you is the net I put across the tank. It's very important if you have an open tank to prevent your fish from jumping out. As you might know, if you have a reef tank, fish are easily scared. So it's, especially when you have an open tank, important to prevent them from jumping out of the tank. So these kind of do-it-yourself tank nets are readily available from different brands. You have the Red Sea brand. This one is from DD, as it will probably show right here. Yeah. And there's also generic brands which sell them. They're actually pretty straightforward things. So you have aluminium beams, you have these corner pieces, you have a net, and then you have a sort of thick wiring that goes underneath here. So I'll try to show you a bit how this works. You attach it with the corner, then you put in the net, and then there's the rubber part here, the rubber wire, thick wire, that you use to attach the net to the structure you just built. Since this is a pretty big one, it's reinforced with two small aluminium beams about across here, from here, and one a little further in the back. So when you take it off, it doesn't fall apart. I still have to cover up a little bit at the end, but I'll use. I still have some acrylic left that I can use to cover this part up, because right now fish can still jump out of here. On the other side, same situation. So again, I saw a picture this week from the Inappropriate Reefer on Instagram, who actually had a net installed, and one of his fish actually jumped through one of the little holes in the net and got stuck and died anyway. So even a net wouldn't protect you from every risk, but it definitely is definitely a big help. So now the top of the tank has been taken care of, and everything looks nice and tidy above the tank, and I'm glad that it turned out this way. Another thing that's important when having a reef tank is temperature management, especially when it's very hot outside, like here in the Netherlands this week. As we speak, it's about 36 degrees outside. Yesterday it was 40 degrees outside, so these are really extreme temperatures. And the last thing you want, especially with a bigger tank, is, or actually with any tank, but overheating of your water is a big concern when having a reef tank, because when the water temperature increases to higher temperatures like 27-28 degrees, it can cause death among your fish and corals, deprivation of oxygen. So it's best to keep your tank cooled. I have a chiller installed that takes care of this. This is actually an underpowered chiller, so I should upgrade it, but I took it from my previous tank. For now, it's holding up pretty well. So it says 26.6 degrees, but it's actually somewhat lower since the calibration is a little bit off. So I can show you. I have a laser temperature meter which says that it's about 26 degrees. Let's see if we can focus it. Yeah, as you can see, 26.4, 26.3, and it's steadily cooling down. One thing that helps is ventilation. So I still need to fix this a bit, but I made two ventilation shafts in the ceiling to take out the hot air that comes from the chiller, and also decrease the humidity in this room. Since this is a fairly small room, as you can see, which I'm using as my personal office and tank room, it's very easy to get this room very humid, because the tank evaporates quite a bit of water. So the ventilation is pretty much needed here. Another thing to do is tidying up your electricity, which I still have to do, as you can see. So there's a big pile of electric wiring and controllers over here, and converter blocks that I still need to fix. So I have a closet right here, as you can see. I'll show you. There currently is my old DJ switch, which I'm going to use again. It's right here, and I've been using it in my previous tank, and I'll be using it in this tank as well. I'm not sure if I'll make it in this closet or if I'll actually put it in front of here. That's also an idea to do. I need to measure it if it's possible, and then the buttons will be here, the blocks will be inside, and the controllers I can mount here on the wall. So it's always a good thing to tidy up these kind of things as you progress, since it will look nice, and of course, if it's tidied up, then you have less risk of getting it damaged or wet or whatever. So these were the main things that I wanted to show you today. There's one more thing that I'm going to show you. That's this side of the reef, but not just this side. Also the fact that I put the last two doors in. So in my previous two videos, you will see that there was a big open space here, because the two doors in the middle were not attached yet. So I've reattached them. And what I wanted to show you is that I also belongs to tidying up. One is mounting the macroalgae light to the ceiling, as you can see right here. So it's lighting these macroalgae, and installing a bigger skimmer, which is a story for a next video, I suppose. But basically what I did was, because there's very little space here, I had to use a saw to saw it and then glue it again once it was inside. So that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Have a nice weekend.